Hello and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance and episode 2 of our Sunday lineup. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you enjoy what you've seen and if you want to continue seeing more. Coming up, highlights from Hull FC vs the St Helens and Wakefield Trinity as they host Wigan Warriors. So we start the episode at Hull FC vs St Helens for our first set of highlights for the day. The Black and Whites have a tough job of welcoming the champions to town this week, and it's for the second time this season. Though the champions may not appear as daunting as usual, with some poorer performances over the last few weeks than what we've come to expect, and injuries have run rampant in the squad, could this open the door for Hull FC to spring a shock and give their playoff hopes a boost? Hull FC have recalled Ben McNamara, Deneve Belmore and David Litton to their squad as Jack Hookham and Jack Brown, who caught shoulder injuries, drop out. The other man to drop out last week was of course St Helens' Josh Sim, who Sim is instead included in the St Helens squad after his loan prematurely ended. He will be joined by the returning Will Apuate, Sione Matautia and Ignatius Parsi as the champions 21-man squad. Curtis Sirenen though misses out due to a ban as Dan Hill is absent, this time with a shoulder injury. Saints have recently lost their cutting edge, which made them the best team in the leagues by far, so if Hull can get into the arm wrestle, which is easier said than done against the champions, they'll give themselves a chance. Otherwise the Saints, who are accustomed to winning, they've still triumphed in the last of the in two of the three games despite poor performances, and will be looking to continue towards the league leader shield, as Christian Wolf did not win that out of the 3 trophies that they won last year. So on to the team news, and the big news is, despite being called back from by Saints in midweek, Josh Sim does not make the starting lineup or even the bench for St Helens in this game. Will Hapuate goes to fullback instead of John Benison, who in turn appears on the wing, while it's Ben Davies and Johnny Lomax at halfback, with no Jack Wellesby in the team. In the forward line for Saints, there's only one change to their usual starting 6 members of the back, as James Bell comes into the lineup instead of Curtis Sirenen. On the bench, it's more or less as you were after James Bell was promoted from the bench, with Ignatius Parsi taking his place, with the usuals Joey Lussick, Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook and Jake Wingfield completing the lineup. For the home side, in the back line we see Jack Walker, Darnell McIntosh, Jake Connor and Connor Wynn still in the starting lineup, but Connor Wynn shifts to the wing, with Vitelli Villigajapani playing at centre. Will Smith and Luke Gale continue at half-back, while the forwards keep their place for the game, with Scott Taylor, Kane Evans, Danny Houghton, Jordan Lane, Ellis Longstaff and Brad Thatch completing the whole lineup. On the bench, it's Chris Sarte, Joe Lovidua, Jordan Johnson and Matty Laylaw who come into the team, so there's no place for Jack Brown on the bench. And it was Hull FC who got the first points on the board as they attacked to the left. Luke Gale passed to Will Smith, who found Jake Connor, who passed it out wide to Jack Walker, and the on-loan Leeds man scored in the corner, with Luke Gale adding the extras. Next though, it woke up Saints, and it was a great break down the right wing from Conrad Hurrell that found Will Hapuate, who went over for Saints' opening try. Saints came back once again, and the ball out wide to Tommy Makinson from Will Hapuate had a little bit to do, but momentum took him over the line for Saints' second try. Saints were starting to get their mojo together And after Batchelor got the ball back to Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook, who scored the first of his tries in the day. Great ball back inside for Johnny Lomax, very unselfish. A scrum play saw Saints go in once more, and Conrad Hurrell got the ball over the line despite the attentions from Joe Lovidua. A weak ball off the play the ball found Morgan Knowles, and Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook showed a good right foot then a step to get him over the line. Saints were rampant at half time, and more so in the second. James Roby with a bad ball earlier on, that was who it was. Roby passed the ball out wide, and it was Ben Davis who took another knock to go over the line. A great ball out wide from Lomax found Tommy Makinson, who was tackled, but Conrad Hurrell had the power to get across the line with two, taking advantage. Will Hapuate and Conrad Hurrell combined to find Tommy Makinson for his second of the game. They were doubling up the Saints players, and tries were coming abundantly. Sione Matauti was the next over, after the Saints were still piling on the momentum after a much maligned period where they hadn't performed so spectacularly. Next, Joey Lussick broke through the whole line, and he ran the rest of the way to score underneath the posts for St Helens. Lussick was at the heart of it again. This time, Johnny Lomax found Ben Davis, who sidestepped his way over for his second try. Hull may have scored early, but St Helens demolished the black and whites. Does Brett Hodgson need to reconsider his options? So our second set of highlights sees Wakefield Trinity face Wigan Warriors. And when Wakefield met Wigan twice around Easter, it marked the turning point in their season, which sent them down towards the bottom of the table and into a relegation scrap. Now they meet again, with Trinity just 2 points clear of Toulouse at the bottom of the league, but will they have the tools to defeat Wigan this weekend? Easier said than done, as Warriors have continued to plough towards the playoffs, picking up their pace in the surge towards the Super League title. Looking at Wakefield's 21-man squad, Wakefield have brought in Harry Bowes and Jack Croft into the squad in place of Isaac Shaw and Kyle Evans. Wigan have made just one change to their squad, with Brad O'Neill back from a ban in place of Junior Nsemba. The likes of John Bateman and Thomas Lulai are still injured. Liam Farrell could be back after being named in the squad last week, but being unable to feature. So in the game, teams will be looking for space. When Wakefield hosted Wigan in the Challenge Cup earlier this season, Wakefield gave Warriors too much space. They need to avoid repeating that mistake, or will face a substantial loss against the top of the table Wigan. Now let's look at the two lineups that the sides have put out for this game, starting with the Warriors first. And it's a backline that Wigan have started to become settled with, as Jai Fields, Bevan French, Sam Halsall, Jake Bibby and Liam Marshall retain their places from their win against Warrington Wolves last time out. It's still Cade Cust and Harry Smith leading the line, but that's mostly because of Thomas Lulai being nowhere near squad ready. Brad Singleton and Mike Cooper start as forwards, but Liam Byrne drops down to the bench, with Brad O'Neill in at acting halfback, with Joe Shorrocks missing out of the squad. Willie Iser and Kai Pearce-Paul continue in the second row, with Morgan Smithies at loose forward. Singleton's promotion from the bench sees that Patrick Mago, Cade Ellis and Oliver Partington joining Byrne on the bench. Now on to Trinity, as it's more or less a settled side for them, but they'll be looking to repeat their performance against St Helens rather than the performance last time out. Jamie Shaw continues at fullback on loan from Hull FC, with Lee Kershaw returning more and more from injury with more and more fitness in the legs, Corey Hall and Lee Gaskell at centre, and Lewis Murphy continuing on the wing. Jacob Miller and Mason Lino will be providing the bullets, while Jay Whitbread and Anthony Arona are the starting forwards. Liam Hood drops out of the 17 completely in place of Geordie Crowther, who starts at acting halfback, but it's a regular back three for the pack in the shape of Matty Ashurst, Kalepi Tanganoa and James Batchelor. There are some changes on the bench though, with Eddie Batty being the only and Josh Bowden being the two that remain, but there's two new faces, Brad Walker and Yusuf Aydin, who was part of the Leeds team that beat Wigan recently while on loan. A couple of bits of information coming from Bellevue, as first of all, the East Stand is almost demolished down at Bellevue, in line with their reconstruction of the stadium with a modern take, and also that Morgan Smithies misses out in the game as he was injured in the warm-up, which means Joe Shorrocks has been promoted to the bench, with Oliver Partington starting for Wigan. So as Wakefield attack first, they almost get over the line, but then they swing the ball out wide, and on the end of it was Lee Kershaw, who dived over in the corner, more or less untouched by any Wigan players. Wakefield's first try made it two tries in a moment after Matty Ashurst got tackled just left of the field. The play the ball was done reasonably well, and Jacob Miller's ball found Jai Whitbread, who went over underneath the posts. 10-0 lead for Wakefield was extended even further, this time after Wigan had thought that they stopped the defence. Stop the attack in defence. Mason Lino found Jacob Miller, who sidestepped his way through the Wigan defence to score underneath the posts. Wigan did have a response just before half-time though, after Bevan French got hold of the ball and was skipping away. He dummied and found a gap through the Wakefield defence to find Sam Halsall, who scored on the right hand edge. Into the second half now, 18 points to 6 to Wakefield, and they didn't give up. They carried on the momentum from the first half, and they found themselves this time deep in Wigan territory, 30 metres out. Mason Lino found Kalepi Tanganoa, who went over right to the post. Wigan had a second try added to the scoreline. After a bad pass to Jai Fields, he kicked for himself, and his unbelievable skill found why the Wigan man and also the leader of the Man of Steel can do the things what he does. Wigan went on the attack again. The Field's ball was knocked up in the air by Lewis Murphy, and he raced to the other end of the pitch to score near the posts for the final score of the game. Wakefield make a huge step forward in their survival hopes to stay in the Super League by beating Wigan Warriors 30 points to 12. So here is how the table stands after round 23, and St Helens took solace in the fact that three of their rivals in 4th, 3rd and 2nd all lost this weekend, and now have a 6-point gap between them and Wigan Warriors. Wigan Warriors in turn have a 3-point gap ahead of Huddersfield Giants in their quest for 2nd place, while Catalan's Dragons are 4th on 28 points. Castlefort's Tigers' victory over the Catalan's Dragons sees them crawl within 4 points of Catalan's Dragons, but then it gets close for the last 2 playoff places, with Castleford currently holding the 5th place spot and Leeds holding the 6th place spot on 23 after their win at Hull KR. Salford are next with 22 points. So a win or a loss for those three teams could see them fall out of the playoff picture. Hull KR and Hull FC are both now too far behind, I would say, for the playoffs, even though it's only 2 points with 4 games left to go. Warrington Wolves are on 23 games played with 16 points, 4 points behind Hull FC. With Wakefield's win today, they move 4 points clear of Toulouse, who are in the bottom place positions with 10 points. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts are of today's episode and the results that have come in. Please, the comment section is open to you all. Please be nice when you do so. Anyway, does this mean that the end has come for Toulouse at the bottom of the table? Still mathematically able to get out of it, but it's got a lot harder now that it's 4 points the difference. At the top of the table, St Helens, is that their league leaders shield all sewn up? I would say so. Still mathematically safe, a chance for other teams to win it, but it's very good. It's going to be almost impossible with the way that St Helens play rugby league. This performance has proven that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. But in the meantime, please stay safe. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode.